is spreading throughout the United States, including in West Virginia. The spotted lanternfly was first detected in the United States in 2014 in eastern Pennsylvania. It was detected in northern West Virginia in 2019 and has since spread to 16 counties, including Wood County, according to spotted lanternfly coordinator James Watson with the West Virginia Department of Agriculture. Watson says the spotted lanternfly poses a threat to crops and to various forest species by extracting sap out of plants, reducing their vigor, and potentially killing them. It is most commonly hosted by an invasive plant species called tree of heaven. Identifying and removing this plant is key to stopping the spread of the spotted lanternfly.
Cut that plant down and immediately, put herbicide on the freshly cut stumps, and then check in the following year for any sprouting from the roots or the stumps. So removing that plant is very, very, very important.
Additionally, Watson says it's important to check materials and vehicles when you are traveling to make sure no spotted lanternflies are attempting to hitchhike from one location to another. You can find more information about how to deal with spotted lanternflies and identify Tree of Heaven at WTAP.com. An Easter themed segment